How far can a man go to escape his responsibilities, and what will be the price of it? On a cold and silent night, while the city slept, a man hurriedly walked through the dark streets. His name was Roberto. He seemed determined, but in his eyes, there was a mixture of fear and selfishness. Roberto was about to make the biggest mistake of his life. In the small shack where he lived, his wife Anna held their newborn daughter in her arms, trying to soothe her with sweet and affectionate words. Anna was exhausted, not just from recent motherhood, but from the daily struggle to survive. The humble house, made of planks and covered with an old tarp, barely kept them sheltered from the cold. Even so, Anna found strength in her love for her daughter. Roberto opened the door with a bang. Startled, Anna quickly stood up. "What's wrong, Roberto? Did something happen?" she asked, her voice trembling. He didn't respond immediately, only looked at her with a disdain that cut like a knife. "I'm leaving," he said coldly. Anna was stunned. "Leaving? But what about our daughter? And me?" Roberto snorted, irritated. "I can't live like this anymore. I'm tired of this miserable life. You'll figure it out." And with those words, he turned and left Anna and the baby alone. Anna ran to the door, tears streaming down her face. "Please, Roberto, don't leave us. We need you." But he didn't look back. His footprints in the mud were the last memory he left. Anna fell to her knees, holding her daughter close to her chest, feeling betrayed and helpless. The baby's cries mixed with hers, creating a symphony of pain and despair. She knew her life would never be the same. As Roberto walked away, convinced he was escaping a prison, he had no idea he was imprisoning himself in a cycle of regret and loneliness. And so, under the pale moonlight, began Anna's painful journey, a woman who, even in the worst circumstances, would find the strength to fight and transform her life. Anna stood paralyzed at the door, silent sobs shaking her body. The darkness of the night seemed to swallow her hopes, and the void left by Roberto was like a bottomless abyss. She looked at her daughter, so small and innocent, not knowing how she would protect her from the cruel world that now presented itself to them. The following days were torture. Anna, without money and support, found herself struggling against hunger and despair. The milk began to run out, and the nights seemed endless as she tried to soothe Clara's hungry cries. Each tear from the child was like a knife in Anna's heart, cutting deeply and leaving invisible scars. She wandered the streets looking for work, anything that could ensure a piece of bread for the next meal. But the city, indifferent to her pain, seemed to have no place for another lost soul. The doors closed one after another, and looks of compassion soon turned into disdain or indifference. One particularly cold afternoon, Anna found herself sitting on a park bench, too weak even to cry. She felt defeated, a shadow of the woman she once was. The icy wind cut her skin, but the internal pain was unbearably greater. She looked at Clara, wrapped in a thin blanket, and a new wave of despair hit her. "What am I going to do?" she murmured to herself, her voice hoarse from crying for help that never came. The words were lost in the wind like an unheard prayer. Each day was a battle against hunger, cold, and hopelessness. Anna wondered how she had come to this point, how someone who swore to love her could abandon her with such cruelty. Dark thoughts invaded her mind, but she knew she couldn't give up. Clara depended on her, and despite everything, something inside Anna refused to surrender completely to despair. That night, while holding her daughter in her arms, Anna made a silent promise. She would fight with all her strength, even if it meant facing the world alone. Because deep in her broken heart, she knew Clara deserved more, deserved a future, a chance. And Anna was willing to do the impossible to ensure that. Despair was still present like a constant shadow, but there was also a flame of determination that began to shine. A flame that she hoped one day would burn strong enough to light her dark paths. Anna knew that despair would not feed her daughter or give her the strength to continue. Each dawn brought a new battle, and she was determined to win them one by one. Deep in her heart, the young mother found a courage she never imagined possessing. At the break of day, Anna would go out looking for work, any work. She cleaned houses, carried boxes, did whatever was necessary. Every cent was counted, every crumb saved for Clara. Hunger was a constant companion, a cruel reminder of the difficulties they faced. But Anna's determination was unwavering. She knew she couldn't afford to falter. The shack, her precarious refuge, began to gain small touches of hope. Anna patched the walls with pieces of wood found on the streets, sewed improvised curtains to protect Clara from the cutting wind. Over time, she transformed that humble space into a home. Every detail, no matter how small, was a symbol of her struggle and her love for her daughter. The neighbors, silent witnesses to her daily struggle, began to notice the strength of that woman. Some offered help, others came with words of encouragement. An elderly lady, Donna Maria, became an unexpected friend. She would bring food from time to time and look after Clara when Anna needed to work. "You are a warrior, Anna," Donna Maria would say, and those words were like balm to the young mother's weary soul. Anna faced each day with a mixture of fear and determination. The fear of failing, of not being able to give Clara the future she deserved, was constant. But Anna's determination was stronger. She knew that every small step forward, every small victory, was a brick in the construction of a better life for her daughter. There were days when exhaustion dominated her. Sitting at the makeshift table, her hands calloused from working so hard, Anna would look at Clara sleeping and feel a wave of emotion. The struggle was arduous, but looking at her daughter's serene face gave her the strength to continue. Clara was her greatest treasure, and for her, Anna would face the whole world. The nights were cold and lonely, but Anna was no longer alone. Little Clara, with her bright eyes and innocent smile, was the light that illuminated her darkest days. And so, in the midst of the struggle for survival, Anna found a new reason to live. She was not just a survivor, she was a mother, a protector, a warrior. And even in the most difficult moments, Anna knew she was walking a path that would lead her to a better future, a path of courage, love, and hope. The storm arrived without warning, with lightning tearing the sky and thunder that seemed to shake the very ground. The heavy rain turned the streets into rivers, and Anna's shack, so carefully patched, began to give in to the force of nature. Leaks appeared in the roof, and the dirt floor turned to mud. Clara, frightened by the noise, cried in her arms. Anna, even exhausted, knew she needed to act. She placed buckets and pans to catch the water that entered, but it seemed a losing battle. The roof was about to collapse, and she had to find a solution quickly. With her heart racing, Anna wrapped Clara in a thick blanket and decided to seek help. She ran to Donna Maria's house, holding Clara firmly against her chest. The rain showed no signs of stopping, and the path was almost impassable. Each step was a challenge, but Anna couldn't afford to hesitate. Arriving at the elderly lady's house, she knocked on the door with all her strength. Donna Maria opened the door, her eyes full of concern at seeing Anna and Clara soaked and trembling. "Come in, my dear, quickly." Without thinking twice, Anna entered the small house, where the warmth of the lit stove was a comforting contrast to the storm outside. With Clara finally safe, Anna collapsed into a chair, feeling the tension and fear take over. Donna Maria, with her characteristic calm, prepared a hot tea and gave it to Anna. "Everything will be fine, dear. You are strong. We will overcome this together." As the storm raged outside, Anna allowed herself a moment of weakness, letting the tears flow freely. But even in the midst of that despair, a new determination arose. She knew she had faced the first major challenge since Roberto left her, and somehow she would come out victorious, with the help of a friend and the strength of her love for her daughter. That night, while Clara slept in Donna Maria's arms, Anna made a promise to herself. She would face any storm, any challenge that came her way, because, in the end, her love and courage were greater than any adversity. And so, in the warmth of the small stove, surrounded by Donna Maria's care and her love for Clara, Anna found the strength to keep fighting. She knew life would still bring many challenges, but she also knew she was ready to face them one by one. The days after the storm were difficult, but Anna was no longer alone in her struggle. Donna Maria became a constant presence, a guardian angel who offered more than just a roof in times of need. One morning, while Anna was getting ready to go out in search of work, an unexpected figure appeared at Donna Maria's door. It was a middle-aged man with a kind smile and eyes that radiated kindness. His name was Miguel, an old friend of Donna Maria who had heard about Anna and Clara's situation. "Good morning, Donna Maria. I heard you are sheltering 2 fighters. Here. I thought I could help in some way," said Miguel, entering the small house with firm steps and a generous heart. Anna, a bit distrustful, observed the man. He seemed sincere, but after so many disappointments, it was hard to believe in good intentions without some skepticism. "I work in construction and know many people. I can get some materials to fix your shack and make it safer," continued Miguel, looking directly at Anna, who was holding Clara in her arms. She hesitated for a moment, but seeing Donna Maria's encouraging smile, she decided to accept the offer. "If you can help, I would be very grateful. I don't know how we will get through another winter with the house in that condition," said Anna, her voice a mixture of gratitude and hope. Miguel didn't waste any time. That same day, he began gathering materials and, with the help of some friends, started the repairs on Anna's shack. Each hammer blow, each nail, was a symbol of renewed hope. Miguel wasn't just repairing the shack, he was rebuilding Anna's confidence in the future. While working, Miguel shared stories of his own life, the struggles he had faced, and the victories he had won. He talked about resilience, about never giving up, and his words resonated in Anna's heart. She began to realize that despite all the difficulties, there were good people in the world willing to help. Weeks passed, and the shack transformed into a cozy home. Anna, her eyes shining with emotion, couldn't believe the transformation. Clara ran through the small renovated space, laughing and playing. There lay the difficulties they had faced. One afternoon, seeing Miguel put the last nail in the roof, Anna felt a wave of gratitude wash over her heart. "I don't know how to thank you, Miguel. You gave us more than a roof. You gave us hope," she said, tears in her eyes. Miguel smiled, wiping the sweat from his forehead. "You don't need to thank me, Anna. We all need help at some point, and you and Clara deserve all the support in the world." At that moment, Anna realized that help can come in the most unexpected forms and that, even in the worst circumstances, human kindness can light up the darkest paths. She knew there would still be challenges, but with people like Donna Maria and Miguel by her side, she was ready to face them. The transformation of the shack into a safer and more welcoming home was just the beginning of a new phase in Anna and Clara's lives. With the renovated shelter and Miguel's help, Anna began to envision a more promising future for herself and her daughter. Each day, the young mother felt stronger, more determined to rebuild her life with dignity and love. Miguel, impressed by Anna's determination, helped her find small jobs in the neighborhood. She started washing clothes, cooking for families, and cleaning houses. The work was hard, and the pay was modest, but Anna faced each task with a smile. Each cent earned was a victory, proof that she was capable of providing for Clara. Mornings started early. Anna woke up before sunrise, prepared a simple breakfast, and kissed Clara lovingly on the forehead before leaving. Donna Maria, always generous, took care of the girl while Anna worked. Coming home exhausted, Anna still found the energy to play with Clara, tell stories, and teach her little life lessons. The community, touched by Anna's resilience, began to support her in unexpected ways. Neighbors brought fruits, clothes, and toys for Clara. A woman from the local church offered sewing lessons to Anna, teaching her a new skill that soon became an additional source of income. Little by little, Anna felt the weight of loneliness diminish, replaced by a network of solidarity and friendship. Over time, Anna not only survived but began to thrive. The small shack was filled with laughter, love, and hope. Anna decorated the walls with Clara's drawings, flowers picked from the garden, and photos capturing happy moments. With each new day, their home became a refuge of peace and joy. The nights, once dark and full of fear, were now moments of reconciliation and dreams. Anna, sitting on the bed next to Clara, looked at the secure roof and her daughter's sleeping face, feeling a deep gratitude for everything they had achieved. She knew there was still a long way to go, but each step taken was a victory over the painful past. Anna began to make plans for the future. She dreamed of seeing Clara attend school, growing up surrounded by love and opportunities. In her heart, Anna knew she was building a better future, not just for her daughter but also for herself. Every day of work, every act of kindness received, was a brick in the rebuilding of their lives. Anna's journey was proof that, even in the face of the worst adversities, courage and determination could transform lives. And as she continued to walk her path, Anna became an inspiration to everyone around her, showing that with love and hope, it is possible to rebuild a life and find happiness in the simplest things. It was a sunny morning, and the sound of birds singing filled the air with a cheerful melody. Inside the small but now cozy shack, Anna was preparing breakfast while Clara played on the floor with her few but precious toys. Life had improved significantly, but Anna knew that challenges were never far away. Still, she allowed herself moments of pure joy, especially when she saw the radiant smile on her daughter's face. Anna watched Clara with a mix of pride and anxiety. The little girl, who had been crawling for some time, was beginning to show signs of wanting to take her first steps. That phase, so common for many, was a milestone of overcoming and hope for Anna. Every movement of Clara, every attempt to stand, was a symbol of the struggle and resilience they both shared. Clara held tightly to the edge of the chair, her eyes shining with determination. Anna, her heart racing, approached slowly, encouraging her with sweet words. "Come on, my love, you can do it. Mommy's here." Clara looked at Anna, and at that moment, a deep connection was established between the two. With a small sigh, Clara let go of the chair and, with shaky steps, walked towards Anna. Time seemed to stand still. Anna, tears in her eyes, opened her arms to receive her daughter. Each step was a triumph, proof that hope and perseverance could overcome any obstacle. When Clara finally reached her mother's arms, the two fell into a tight embrace, laughing and crying at the same time. "You did it, my love, you did it," Anna whispered, stroking Clara's hair. That moment, so simple yet so powerful, was etched in Anna's memory as one of the most beautiful of her life. It was more than a milestone in Clara's growth, it was a symbol of rebirth and strength. With Clara's first steps, Anna felt a new wave of hope flood her heart. She knew that just as her daughter was learning to walk, they were both learning to live again. Each challenge, each struggle, was a lesson in courage and love. And in that small shack, surrounded by love and determination, Anna and Clara found a strength that no storm could shake. The following days were full of new adventures. Clara, now more confident, explored every corner of the shack, her laughter filling the space with joy. Anna, watching each discovery, felt immensely grateful for every little miracle life had given them. In that humble home, Anna and Clara were building a world of love and overcoming, step by step, day by day. And as Clara continued to grow and discover the world, Anna knew that together they could face anything the future held. The sun was starting to set, casting a golden glow over the small community. Anna and Clara were in the backyard, playing with an old ball, laughing and enjoying the warmth of the last rays of sun. The world seemed at peace, and for a brief moment, all the struggles and hardships seemed to belong to a distant past. But then a shadow fell over the gate. Anna, distracted by the sound of the ball bouncing, didn't immediately notice. When she finally looked up, her heart stopped. There, standing like a ghost from the past, was Roberto, the man who had abandoned his family without looking back, Clara's father. Roberto watched the scene with a cold smile, but his eyes revealed a curiosity mixed with contempt. Well, look what we have here. It seems you did better than I expected, Anna, he said, his voice dripping with sarcasm. Anna felt a wave of conflicting emotions, fear, anger, and a fierce protection for Clara, who now clung to her leg, looking at the stranger with distrust. "What are you doing here, Roberto?" Anna asked, trying to keep her voice steady. He took a few steps towards them, ignoring the tension in the air. "I just came to see how you were. After all, I left a family under a roof that was about to collapse. I imagined you'd still be in misery." Anna felt the anger rise, but she took a deep breath. She wouldn't let Roberto destroy what she had built. "We're fine, Roberto." "Better than you can imagine," she replied, trying to stay calm. Roberto looked around, noticing the improvements to the shack, the improvised garden, and Anna's determined expression. "Well, it seems you managed. But you know, Anna, I always thought you were weak, that without me you wouldn't be able to do anything." Anna stepped forward, positioning herself between Roberto and Clara. "You know nothing about me, Roberto. Or about our daughter. We survived, and more than that, we're truly living." Roberto let out a cynical laugh. "Truly living in this dump? Don't make me laugh. I came back to get something that belongs to me." Anna felt a chill down her spine. "What do you want, Roberto?" He looked directly at Clara. "My daughter. I want to take her with me." Anna felt the ground disappear beneath her feet. "You have no right to take Clara. You abandoned her. We don't need you." Roberto took another step forward, his expression hardening. "You have no choice, Anna. I'm her father, and I'm taking my daughter." But before he could come any closer, a figure appeared at the gate. It was Miguel, his face serious and determined. "You're not taking anyone, Roberto. Anna and Clara are under my protection. And if you try anything, you'll have to deal with me." Roberto stopped, surprised by the intervention. Miguel, with his imposing presence and firm words, was an obstacle he hadn't anticipated. You think you can stop me? Roberto asked, his voice trembling with rage. I'm sure of it, Miguel replied calmly. And I'm not alone. The whole community stands with Ana and Clara. If you want to fight, you'll have to face all of us. Roberto looked around, realizing that other people were starting to come out of their homes, looking in his direction. The courage he had felt facing Ana alone disappeared. Without saying another word, he turned and left, muttering empty threats. Ana felt tears welling up, this time of relief and gratitude. She picked up Clara, holding her tight. Thank you, Miguel, she whispered, her voice choked with emotion. Miguel just smiled, placing a hand on Ana's shoulder. You're not alone, Ana. Never again. And so, with Miguel's and the community's support, Ana and Clara knew they could face any storm that came their way. Always together, always strong. It was an ordinary day, or at least it seemed to be. Ana was busy in the small garden, which now served as her escape from reality, tending to the flowers she had planted with such care. Clara was in the shade, playing with her toys, while her mother worked with the same dedication she had applied to rebuilding her life. Suddenly, a luxury car stopped in front of the shack. The sound of the engine and the shine of the vehicle caught Ana's attention, and she looked up, a bit perplexed. An elegant man, dressed in an impeccable suit and dark glasses, stepped out of the car and walked to the garden's entrance. Ana approached, her heart racing with intrigue. Hello, can I help you? She asked, trying to stay calm despite her curiosity. The man took off his glasses and smiled. You're Ana, right? I'm João, Roberto's cousin. Ana hesitated, her mind racing with what this visit could mean. Yes, that's me. What do you want? João seemed uncomfortable, but his voice was firm. I heard you've been facing many difficulties since my cousin left. I wanted to help somehow. Ana frowned, the discomfort visible on her face. You must know he abandoned us, and your presence here is unexpected. João nodded, looking at the ground for a moment before meeting Ana's eyes again. I understand. And to be honest, my intention is not just to help. I wanted to apologize for myself and for my family. Roberto has a destructive way of acting, and the way he treated you and Clara is unacceptable. Ana, surprised by João's sincerity, felt a spark of hope and distrust. And why do you care now? João sighed, looking at the shack with an expression that mixed shame and regret. I also have guilt in this process. Our family should have intervened, should have done more. The truth is, we failed, and I want to correct that in any way I can. He pulled an envelope from his suit pocket and handed it to Ana. This is a check. It's not much, but I hope it can help somehow. And I would also like to offer you a job at one of our family's companies. A decent job, with a fair salary. Ana looked at the envelope, her heart swaying between surprise and distrust. You're saying you want to help, but why now? João smiled with a mix of sadness and determination. Because I see the suffering we caused and want to do what's right. Maybe I can't repay the past, but I want to try to make a difference in the present. And if you accept my help, I also accept that you can show me that people can change for the better. Ana looked at Clara, who was watching the scene with curiosity. With a deep sigh, she finally replied. I accept your offer. If you can do something to improve Clara's and my life, I appreciate it. But please, never come just to remind us of the suffering. João nodded, his expression reflecting a relief mixed with a sense of responsibility. I understand. And I promise I'll do my best to ensure my help is genuine and useful." As Joao said goodbye and left, Anna felt a mixture of relief and caution. The unexpected help came with a weight of emotional complexity, but it was an opportunity to create a more stable future for her and Clara. Life continued to be a challenge, but from that moment on, Anna began to believe that even in the most unlikely situations, change was possible. That afternoon brought new hope to Anna, a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there is always the possibility of finding a path to light. The days following the meeting with Joao were filled with a new and uncertain feeling for Anna. The offer of help seemed like a light at the end of the tunnel, but distrust still hovered over her like a shadow. With the check received and the promised job, Anna tried to adjust to this new phase, keeping her focus on Clara's well-being and the hope for a better future. One cold morning, Anna was eager to start her new job. She put on her best clothes, still simple, and prepared Clara with the usual care before handing her to Donna Maria, who had offered to take care of the girl during the day. Anna wanted everything to go well, for this to be the beginning of a new life. Upon arriving at the company, an elegant and imposing building, Anna was greeted cordially, but a feeling of discomfort did not leave her. She was led to a meeting room where she found Joao and a group of executives. They greeted her with polite smiles and introduced her to the details of the job. After a brief presentation, Joao asked to speak with Anna in private. "We need to discuss some details," he said, with a serious look. Anna followed him to a separate office, where he invited her to sit. "I wanted to have an honest conversation with you," Joao began, his eyes fixed on Anna's. "The job I offered is legitimate, but there's something else we need to discuss." Anna felt a chill down her spine, her fears and suspicions returning. "What's wrong?" she asked, trying to stay calm. Joao hesitated before speaking. "There was a misunderstanding. The money from the check I gave you is not exactly what it seemed. It's actually an advance on a loan that I need you to pay back with your salary." The shock was like a blow. Anna felt the world around her crumble. "You're saying the help isn't really help, that it's a loan?" Joao lowered his eyes, visibly uncomfortable. "I'm sorry. I didn't want you to find out this way. I wanted to help, but things changed and, well, what you will receive in salary will be deducted from that amount. And if you can't pay it back, there will be other consequences." Anna felt tears threaten, but fought to keep them under control. "So, in reality, all this is a trick, a way to bind us even more?" Joao didn't respond immediately. The silence in the office was heavy and oppressive. "I wanted you to know that despite this, you have the opportunity to show that you can overcome this situation. I truly believe in you, Anna, and I hope that with time you can get out of this." Anna stood up, feeling the weight of the world on her shoulders. "I appreciate the job offer, but I need to think about the implications of this. And I want you to know that if help comes with such a difficult condition, maybe it's better to look for other ways to move forward." She left the office feeling betrayed and disillusioned. The bitter surprise left a deep mark on her heart. The idea that the help she thought was an opportunity for a new beginning had turned into a crushing debt was almost too much to bear. Returning home, Anna found temporary comfort in Clara's embrace. She looked at her daughter and felt a new determination emerge from the pain. Life might have given her a bitter turn, but she wasn't ready to give up. The fight didn't end there. She needed to find a way to overcome this new adversity and ensure a better future for her daughter, with or without Joao's help. And so, as night fell and the shack seemed more welcoming than ever, Anna made a promise to herself. She would face this new difficulty with the same courage and love that had sustained her so far. Because, despite everything, she knew that true strength came from within. It was a gray and rainy afternoon. The city seemed wrapped in a shroud of sadness, reflecting Anna's state of mind. The day was heavy, and the storm clouds threatened greater turmoil. Anna had just left work, her mind tormented by the office news and her heart heavy with uncertainties. With the advance loan check in hand, she tried to find a solution to the financial problem now so clear. Joao's office was closed for the day, and Anna decided she needed a bit of clarity, a bit of space away from the confusing labyrinths of the new job. As she walked down the street, absorbed in her thoughts, a familiar voice made her stop abruptly. She looked up and saw Roberto, Clara's father, standing on the other side of the street, watching her with a look of anger and frustration. He seemed to have just left a meeting, with an uncomfortable and embarrassed expression. Anna hesitated, her desire to ignore him clashing with the need to face the situation. Roberto crossed the street with large steps and decided to approach her. "What are you doing here?" he asked, his voice filled with a mix of disdain and anger. Anna, trying to stay calm, replied, "I just left work." "I don't know what you want, Roberto." He stared at her with an unsettling intensity. "I just wanted to see how you were handling things. I heard about the job offer and the loan. I wanted to understand what's going on." Anna frowned, the heat of embarrassment enveloping her. "You're worried now, after everything you did? I don't think it's the time for your appearances." Roberto looked at her with a confused rather than genuine expression. "I just wanted to know if you're in trouble and if there's still something I can do to help." The confusion and embarrassment hung in the air. Anna knew Roberto was not someone she could trust, but seeing the man who had abandoned her trying to get involved now was deeply disturbing. "You can't just show up and try to seem like you care," Roberto, Anna said, her voice breaking a little. "If you really wanted to help, you would have done so when I needed it. Now is not the time for your empty offers." Roberto seemed to want to argue, but something in Anna's voice made him hesitate. "I know I have no right to apologize or try to fix what I did, but I just wanted to do something." "Do something?" Anna repeated, her voice filled with sarcasm. "What do you really want, Roberto?" He lowered his head, embarrassment written on his face. I don't know. I think I just wanted to feel better, as if I could do something to remedy the situation. But I know it's too late." Anna sighed, her heart torn between frustration and a strange sense of compassion. "You can try to help yourself, Roberto. There's nothing you can do for me now." Roberto walked away, his expression more defeated than ever. "I understand. I just wanted you to know that I'm sorry." Anna watched as he walked away, feeling a mixture of contradictory emotions. She had faced so many difficulties alone, and now seeing Roberto trying to get involved, even if too late, seemed a cruel reflection of life's complexities. As she walked back home, the rain began to fall more intensely. The drops were like tears from the city itself, reflecting the sadness and discomfort she felt. The encounter with Roberto had left Anna with a new weight on her heart, but also a new understanding that resolution and healing came from inner strength, not from others' late actions. And so, Anna continued her journey, now with the weight of the embarrassing encounter as a bitter reminder that, even amid challenges and betrayals, she needed to find her own strength and move forward with dignity and courage. The days following the awkward encounter with Roberto were an emotional whirlwind for Anna. The weight of Roberto's visit and being confronted with her past left her feeling like she was once again in an internal battle. Even with the new responsibilities and financial difficulties, Anna tried to keep her focus on what truly mattered, her daughter Clara. That morning, the sky was clear and bright, a direct contrast to Anna's emotional state. She was at the market, buying some essential items with the little money left from her already committed salary, when her cell phone vibrated in her pocket. It was a text message from Roberto, saying he wanted to meet with her. With a mix of fear and curiosity, Anna agreed to meet Roberto at the local cafe, a neutral and public place where she would feel a bit safer. Upon arrival, she found Roberto already seated, with a somber look and a deeply introspective expression. He was visibly nervous, and his posture indicated he was carrying a heavy burden. When Anna approached, Roberto stood up to greet her, but the discomfort in the air was palpable. He gestured for her to sit, and Anna, hesitant, accepted the invitation. They sat at a discreet table, away from the curious eyes of other customers. "Thank you for coming," Anna Roberto began, his voice filled with unexpected sincerity. "I know what I did was unacceptable and deeply wrong. I feel I owe you an explanation and, more than that, an apology." Anna watched in silence, her heart beating faster. She hadn't expected this kind of conversation and was cautious about his intentions. "Apologies? Do you think you can just show up and say sorry, and everything will be fine?" Roberto lowered his eyes, his shoulders slumping in a gesture of defeat. "I understand you're distressed. I don't have the right to demand your forgiveness, but what I can do is be honest about how I feel and what happened. I left because I was selfish and insensitive. Now I see how wrong I was, and it consumes me." He pulled something from his pocket and placed it on the table. It was a simple envelope with a letter inside. "I wrote a letter to Clara. I know I can't erase the past, but I want her to know I'm sorry for everything. I don't expect you to forgive me or let me back into her life, but I hope somehow this can bring a bit of peace." Anna took the letter, her heart heavy. She looked at Roberto, her voice almost a whisper. "You really think a letter can fix all this? What you did can't be simply erased with words." Roberto looked at her with genuine sadness. "I know a letter can't fix the past, and I don't expect it to change how you see me. But I needed to try. I need you to know I deeply regret it and am willing to do whatever it takes to make things right, even if it means staying away from you." Anna looked at the envelope, the pain and confusion mixing with a new feeling of recognition that, painful as it was, Roberto was trying to take responsibility. "I don't know what to do with this," she finally said, holding the letter. "But thank you for coming here, for trying to apologize." Roberto nodded, his face showing a mix of relief and resignation. "I understand. And please, take good care of Clara. She deserves everything good life can offer." Anna stood up, ready to leave the cafe and the past behind. "We'll do that. Clara has a good life, full of love, and that's what truly matters now." She left the cafe with the letter in hand, feeling an unexpected sense of lightness. Roberto's visit, though painful, had brought a form of closure. The apology, although late, was a step in the right direction for both of them. And, with a slightly lighter heart, Anna was ready to face the next challenges, with the certainty that her strength and love for Clara were what truly sustained her. Thus, Anna returned home, the letter still in her hands, a reminder that life continues to unfold with its ups and downs and that even in the most complicated situations, there is room for redemption and growth. Months passed like a gentle current, carrying Anna and Clara to a new chapter in their lives. Clara was growing rapidly, her presence bringing a special light to their home, which, although simple, was filled with love and dedication. Each day seemed like a small adventure, a new discovery, and Anna marveled at her daughter's growth and changes. It was a spring morning, and the sun shone with a comforting intensity. Anna had planned a picnic in the local park, a small luxury she had managed to afford with the little money she had saved. Clara was excited, dressed in a flowery dress and a straw hat, holding her mother's hand while skipping beside her. Upon arriving at the park, Clara ran to the playground, her eyes shining with excitement. Anna watched closely, her heart full of a quiet joy at seeing her daughter mingle with other children. It was a common scene, but for Anna, it was a symbol of victory and overcoming. Clara approached a group of children playing ball. She hesitated for a moment but soon joined the game, her pure and contagious laughter echoing through the park. Anna sat on a nearby bench, watching with a proud smile. The little girl seemed to have found her place, an expression of happiness and confidence that Anna knew was the result of her love and effort. As Clara played, Anna reflected on the transformation that had taken place. Her daughter's growth was visible, not only physically but in how she behaved and interacted with the world around her. Clara was becoming a brave and happy girl, a true source of strength and inspiration for Anna. Suddenly, a mother approached the bench where Anna was sitting. She was a friendly woman with a warm smile and a look of recognition. "Hi, I'm Carla," said the woman. "I saw your daughter playing with the other children. She's adorable." Anna smiled, shyly. "Thank you, I'm Anna. Clara really loves playing with other kids." Carla sat beside Anna, and the two began to chat. It was a light conversation about children, the park, and life. Carla commented on how impressive Clara's confidence was and how evident it was that Anna had dedicated herself to giving her a happy and healthy childhood. Anna felt a warmth in her heart hearing these words. Another mother's recognition and genuine appreciation was a reminder of how much Clara had thrived and how much Anna's effort was paying off. The conversation flowed, and Anna and Carla found themselves sharing stories and laughter. An unexpected bond formed amid the simplicity of an afternoon in the park. When the picnic ended and Clara was tired but happy, Anna helped her daughter gather the toys and get ready to go home. Clara held Anna's hand, her eyes shining with joy. "Mom, I had so much fun today." Anna smiled, her heart full of love and gratitude. "Me too, dear. You're growing so fast. I'm very proud of you." As they walked back home, Anna felt a deep sense of satisfaction. She had faced many difficulties and challenges, but seeing Clara growing into a happy and confident girl was the greatest reward. Each laugh, each new step Clara took, was a reflection of the love and effort Anna had invested in her daughter. The walk back was peaceful, with the sun setting gently on the horizon. Anna and Clara were a team, facing life together and finding beauty in the small things. Clara's growth was not only a milestone in her life, but also proof of the power of love and resilience. So, as the park emptied and the night approached, Anna felt at peace, knowing that despite the difficulties they had faced, Clara's happiness and growth were the light that guided her path. Life continued its course for Anna and Clara, with its ups and downs, but always with a sense of hope and renewal. Anna was now more confident in her new job and was managing to balance responsibilities and time with Clara admirably. It seemed that, finally, things were falling into place. One morning, Anna received a registered letter in her mailbox. The envelope was formal and seemed important, bearing the seal of a law office. Her heart raced as she opened the correspondence, revealing a notification that made her pause for a moment. It was a summons to appear in court. The reason, a dispute over an inheritance. Roberto's name was mentioned as part of the process, and the lawyer represented Roberto's mother, a woman Anna had never met but who apparently had recently passed away, leaving an inheritance to be distributed. Anna read the letter several times, trying to understand the connection to her own life and why Roberto was involved. On the appointed day, Anna dressed in her best clothes and went to court. The environment was formal and impersonal, and the tension in the air was almost palpable. She expected to find Roberto and his lawyer, but what she found was something much more unexpected. As the hearing prepared to begin, the judge entered and began reading the case details. Anna paid attention, her heart pounding. The inheritance included a significant amount of money and properties that belonged to Roberto's mother. And, to Anna's surprise, there was a clause in the will that indicated a direct donation to Clara. Roberto's lawyer explained that the donation had been made in recognition of Anna and Clara's suffering and the profound impact Roberto's absence had on their lives. It was an unexpected gesture of recognition and a late attempt to compensate for what was lost. Anna was stunned, unsure if she should feel relieved, confused, or even angry. The amount involved was enough to change their lives significantly, but the pain and sense of betrayal were still present. She turned to Roberto, who was sitting on the defendant's bench, with a humble and remorseful expression. "I didn't know what to expect," Roberto said, his voice full of raw sincerity. "This doesn't erase what I did, but it's a way to try to make up for something. My mother wanted to do this. She knew about our situation and decided Clara should receive this." Anna looked at Roberto, the conflicting feelings swirling in her heart. "And you think this is enough to compensate for everything you did? To fix the past?" Roberto lowered his head. "I know it's not, but it's the only thing I can offer now. I hope, at least, it can help in some way." Anna felt a wave of emotions, confusion, relief, and a sense of closure. The donation meant financial security she had never imagined, but the price to achieve it was a constant reminder of open wounds. With the court proceedings over, Anna left the building, the inheritance letter in hand and her mind filled with complex thoughts. Clara's and her life were about to change in ways they had never anticipated. The money represented a new chance, an opportunity to build a future without the limitations that had been a constant concern. As she walked back home, Anna looked at Clara, who was happily playing in a nearby park. The true turnaround was not just in the amount of money received, but in the complex mix of feelings that accompanied it. Anna knew that despite the financial help, the journey to find true peace and happiness was still ahead. But with this new opportunity, she had the chance to redefine her path and offer Clara a bright and stable future. Life, with its ironies and surprises, had offered a new chance, and Anna was ready to embrace it with the hope and determination that had always accompanied her. With the sound of the gentle wind and the sun setting in a golden horizon, Anna found herself sitting in the playground where she used to take Clara to play. The park, a constant in their lives, now seemed more symbolic than ever. The trees swayed gently, and the distant laughter of children echoed like a melody of hope and renewal. Clara was a few meters away, immersed in a game with other children, her energy and joy a constant reminder of what truly mattered. Anna watched her daughter, a serene smile on her lips, while the emotions of the day still processed in her mind. The unexpected turnaround with Roberto's inheritance had brought a wave of changes. Anna had gone through an emotional whirlwind, and now, with financial security guaranteed, she was facing the task of rebuilding life with a new perspective. But even with external changes, the true process was happening internally. Anna reflected on the journey from the day Roberto left her to the present moment. The hardships and struggles had been many, but each obstacle faced had contributed to her strength and resilience. The loss and pain had turned into learning and growth, and the ability to rise and move forward was now an integral part of who she was. She thought of Roberto's words, his attempt to correct what he had done, and the unexpected inheritance that had emerged as a late consolation. There was something deeply ironic and painful in the way fate seemed to play with them, but at the same time, there was a sense of closure, a way to turn the page and start a new chapter. Anna looked at Clara and saw the sparkle in her daughter's eyes as she ran towards the swing. It was a glimpse of the simplicity of happiness, a reminder that true wealth lay in the small things, in love, hope, and the ability to see potential in each day. With the inheritance money, Anna knew she could offer Clara a more stable and opportunity-filled life. But more than that, she had learned to value the small victories and find strength in adversities. The final reflection was clear: the journey they had traveled together had not been in vain. Each challenge and each moment of difficulty had shaped a new Anna, stronger, more resilient, and more grateful. The sun was almost disappearing on the horizon, and night was beginning to approach. Anna stood up slowly, feeling a sense of peace and a light heart. She walked towards Clara, ready to take her daughter home and enjoy the simple moments life offered. As the park emptied and the sky filled with stars, Anna felt that despite the trials and twists, she had found a new clarity. True strength lay in moving forward with dignity and love, and life, with all its nuances, continued to offer new opportunities to grow and flourish. And so, with the gentle wind whispering promises of new beginnings, Anna and Clara walked home, ready to embrace the future with the certainty that, despite adversities, love and resilience were the true guides in their journey. So, did you like this story? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.